There might be a few of y'all hadn't quite figured out what day today is, but it's October 1st, and October 1st is the first day of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's exciting to have some great folks here with me today. And through the hard work of a lot of people, I'm here to announce that Clemson is going to host its first ever breast cancer awareness game against Florida State, October 19th. Something that a lot of people have really worked hard on, and I'm just really excited that it's come to fruition. It's a partnership between Clemson University and our All In Foundation, and just again really excited about it. And I just want to introduce a few people who've made this possible. First of all, needs no introduction, but my better three quarters, Kathleen. Also Dan and Marcy Radakovich. Dan's not here today, he's got ACC meetings, but Marcy is here, right here, so thank you, Marcy, for being here. Appreciate her attending. Summer Lorenz from St. Francis Hospital is here as well, and then Mike Pareo and Tom Merritt from UBI, two Clemson alums and great ambassadors for Clemson University are here. Heather Hucks from Coca-Cola Consolidated. They've partnered up with us as well. She's not here today, but has just been a tremendous help. Chris Bandy from Tigertown Graphics has really been a huge asset. And then Allison Osif from the Zeta sorority, and also my neighbor is here representing her sorority. So St. Francis, UBI, and Coca-Cola have all come on board for a multi-year sponsorship of these opportunities, and we really thank y'all very much for your support. And on Monday, October the 14th, because we've got a lot of things planned for the month, but starting on October 14th, Kath is going to join me on the Tiger Call-In show, or actually I'm going to join her because it's going to be her night, and I'm excited about that. And there's a lot of other game week and game day activities that we have planned that all the Tiger fans, I think, are going to be proud of, that are going to assist us in developing awareness and really just hopefully helping to stamp out a disease that has impacted so many people, my family and so many other people's family. Now I'm going to turn it over to Cass. She's going to tell you a little bit about another great community activity that we have planned for this month. So, Cass.
Okay. Hello. I'm so glad to be here today. The Clemson University Athletic Department and the All In Team Foundation, along with Coca-Cola Consolidated, UBI, St. Francis Hospital, are pleased to display this 2013 Breast Cancer Awareness paw pin. I think we all have it on here. The pin will be available for sale to the general public beginning today, the first day of the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The 2013 Breast Cancer Awareness Tiger Paw Pins are $5 each, and they will be available at the official online store of Clemson Athletics, locally at Tigertown Graphics in downtown Clemson. Thank you, Chris, for your support. And at the Barnes & Noble bookstore on the Clemson campus, and at all the stores inside Little John and Memorial Stadium. And the Zeta Tau Alpha sorority is with Allison, thank you, is coordinating sales throughout campus with the Greek organization. So again, they're $5 a piece, and they go on sale today, and the proceeds will go to breast cancer research. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, babe. Okay. Just want to again reiterate how fortunate Kath and I are to be at Clemson, to have the platform that we have. And since the day I took this job, that's one of the things that she and I pledged to each other, that we were going to make a difference. No matter how long we would be here, we would make a difference with the opportunity and the platform that we've been blessed with. And since 2009, the All In Team Foundation has donated or pledged over $800,000 to our mission, which is to raise awareness of critical health and education issues and impact lives across the state of South Carolina and beyond. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of it, and one of our main focus areas is obviously breast cancer research and prevention. So just so excited to be a part of it, and I want to thank Tim Match. I want to thank Mike Brown, because those two guys have worked their tails off in helping pull this thing together. Also, again, want to thank Clemson, our sponsors that are here today, and all of our supporters for the foundation. over the past several years for the success that we've been able to have. And we got a lot of great events planned for October, and a lot of people have worked really hard. So I hope the Clemson Nation will get behind it and support this very, very great cause. And I hope everybody out there, again, will just be all in helping us to fight against breast cancer. That's our objective. And anything else that you want to add to it, Kath? Anything? I think everybody knows the funds from this, from Our Ladies Clinic, goes to breast cancer. We've got the mobile mammography unit from St. Francis that we're going to be specifically supporting this year. And it's just been a great thing to be a part of, and again, see it all come to fruition. And with that, I will once again say thank you. And we got a football game this weekend, so I'll transition into Syracuse. And then we'll take some questions here in just a second. But and also on another note, obviously everybody knows about the passing of Bill McClellan. And, I met him for the first time about 5 years ago. It was a privilege to get to meet him. And, obviously I wasn't here during his tenure, but there's no question that he left a legacy here and an impact on this program. And I'm a beneficiary of a lot of things that were done back years ago and things that were put in place, facilities, stadium, so forth. And obviously, he was a man of a lot of vision that did some things, way before their time. So my condolences go out to his family, and just want to make sure that we mention that. I know the funeral will be later on this week. Syracuse, hey, I'm excited about this trip. I think that it's going to be a new experience for our team. It's good to have Syracuse joining the league. I think they're going to be a quality opponent for many years to come. I think there's going to be a lot of great competitions. They're obviously not just an ACC team, but they're going to be a division opponent for us. And I'm sure this will become a great game every year. They're 2-2. They lost to Penn State by 6 points at Penn State. Lost, kind of got away from them at Northwestern, but they have been a different team at home. A much different team at home. They're coming off 2 big wins, and plus they've just had an open date to get ready for us. So they'll be a rested football team. They'll be a confident football team. And again, it's always tough when you go on the road. And for this particular team, they really, really play well at home. They lost 1 game at home all of last year. Hey, Teddy Bridgewater has been in there and gotten beat with a top 10 team. Geno has been in there with a top 10 team and gotten beat over the past 2 years. So a big challenge for the Clemson Tigers as we go up there. Again, 6-1 at home last year. We're going to have to play well. Offensively, their quarterback, they've made a change there. Number 10 and number 8. Number 8 started the first few games. Number 10 came in and I thought played really, really well against Tulane. Brings a little more of a running dimension to their scheme. Very impressed with how he's thrown the ball, his accuracy. Offensive line, they're very physical. When I think of Syracuse, that's what I think of. I think of a physical football team. And, that when you turn on the film, that's what you see. They've got a Remington candidate. Ironically, it's Coach McPherson's grandson at center. Some really good-looking skill guys, some big wideouts. Very impressed with their running backs. They rotate 45 and 23 pretty good, but 45 is a big, strong back. Had over 1,100 yards last year. He's leading the ACC in touchdowns right now. He's a guy we're going to have to tackle all day long because he's gonna just keep getting up and keep bringing it. Very, very physical runner, and we're going to have to compete with our skill versus their skill. Going to be some competitive matchups that we're going to have to win. Because they're definitely going to challenge us on the outside. Defensively, they've got 6+ starters back. One of their backers was a part-time starter for them last year. Very active, probably as an aggressive a group as we've played. Bring a ton of pressure. Just force you to be very, very sound in what you do. Not going to let you hold the ball. You're going to have to get rid of the ball because, again, most of the time they'll bring one more than you can block. So there's a lot of competitive matchups that we're going to have to win. And you know, one of the things is they try to force you into making some mistakes with their pressure. Play very, very hard. Very impressed with their defensive line. 96 is one of the better D linemen in this conference. He's got 3 sacks. He's got, I think he's got 5 tackles for loss. Their backers are active. They got 3 starters back in the secondary. So this is not. There's no transition from a defensive standpoint. Obviously, their head coach was their defensive guy the last couple years. So a lot of continuity back from a defensive scheme standpoint. They've been a little bit more in transition on offense because they lost some really good players and a quarterback that had been there a long time. But again, they've had 4 games now, and they've had an open date and are coming off very good performances in their last 2 wins. So, you know, bottom line is for us, it's just still about, you know, our plan to win, playing with great effort, continue to do a great job winning the turnover margin. You know, having more big plays than the opponent, being the least penalized team, you know, making a difference in the game with special teams, and not having missed assignments, being assignment sound in what we do. Those are the things that give us a chance to win each and every week, and that won't be any different this week. With that, I'll take your questions.
What do you think it is about some of these longer trips than normal to Maryland, to Boston College, that cause sluggish starts sometimes just on the road?
I have no idea. To me, it shouldn't matter. I mean, it really shouldn't. I think sometimes it depends on who those teams are, the maturity of the team, experience of your team. You know, all those factors could make a difference from as you measure team to team. But the biggest thing is it's hard to win on the road. I mean, it's just, you know, that's just a fact. It's hard to win on the road in any league at anything that you do because, you know, you go in and everybody's more comfortable at home because you got, you know, I mean, your surroundings, it's what you're used to. It's your fans. They're all pulling for you. I personally have always enjoyed going on the road. I always enjoyed going on the road as a player. I loved it. I loved the hostility of it, if you will. Growing up in the SEC, I loved to go to Baton Rouge and see grandmas flick you the finger riding in on the bus and people pull their shirts up. And I mean, I was like, man, this is wild, you know, and people talk bad about you and used to call me Skinny Sweeney and all that stuff. I loved that. I mean, I thought that was great. To me, that was a lot of fun to be a part of. So you just embrace that. And this is one of those environments that I've always wanted to go and check out because it's a tough place to play. You know, all you got to do is look at their track record there at home. Just like Death Valley is a tough place to play. One of my objectives when I got this job was to, you know, let's make this a hard place to win. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that. And our guys have taken a lot of pride in playing at home, and most teams do. But the formula doesn't change. You know, if external factors, if they're a part of your performance, then you're never going to be a great football team. I believe that. If a plane ride, it was a little longer, or you're playing at noon, or you're playing on the road, or your uniforms, if all that stuff is a determinant to your performance, you're never going to be a great team. As long as it's 100 yards and 53 1/3 and the rules are the same, then it comes down to execution and playing physical, you know, great effort, doing the things that you got to do to win football games.
What do you basketball, and you were taking a team in there, you'd be talking about, you know, sideline shooting background. Are there any challenges to taking a team into a building that you've never played in before from the catching the football standpoint or that?
Well, I think it would be if you didn't have any experience with that. But for us, I mean, obviously we played in the Dome twice last year. We're very fortunate to have an indoor facility here at Clemson that we practice in all the time. So, you know, that's the biggest. That's really the only difference. Is it's just your sight lines and where the lights are, and there's background when you look it up for punts and ball, you know, receptions and things like that. But other than that, I mean, it's just a field, and it's still football. It's all the same. And the noise is probably a little more compact. But we play in a lot of loud places. defensively, it'll be very quiet for our guys. That's what people don't realize. Our defense, we play with tremendous noise at home. I mean, it's loud. And our guys are no huddle. We don't huddle on defense. There's no way you can practice any faster than what we practice from a defensive standpoint. And again, at Death Valley, it's deafening out there when we're on defense. So they're used to communicating. So going on the road, they can actually talk to each other on defense. Offensively is the challenge. But again, we're not a huddle team. We don't. Those things really, should not affect us. We've been in loud situations before, and we've got a lot of experienced guys that have been there and done that. So hopefully that's not a factor. It could be a factor again if you got a lot of inexperienced guys and you let it be a factor.
Isn't there, though, a difference playing in this place than it has been playing in the Georgia Dome? Because 95% of the people in that building are against you, whereas in the Georgia Dome, half of them are for you.
Well, I tell you what, when we got dropped off at that Tiger Walk going into the Dome last year, I thought they dropped us off at the wrong spot. I'm going in, I went, man, these guys have screwed up. Because for the first mile, it seemed all we did was go through the Auburn people. It was not good. It was a hostile situation. And then finally, we got to the Clemson section in the back. I think they've changed that since then. But, same thing going up to NC State on Thursday night. I mean, we'll have some Clemson fans there. We'll have a few for us. I was on the radio show last night with a guy from Toronto that's bringing a whole crew down, Clemson fans from Toronto. So we'll have a few folks there, but it's just like going to NC State on Thursday night. There wasn't many people yelling for us up there either. But again, it's about playing the game. That's great, but those are external things, and you cannot let those things be a part of your performance. It's about playing the game. The big difference from the Dome will be there's no air conditioning. The Dome is about like 73 and a slight wind out of the northwest there, but the Carrier Dome has no AC. Everybody tells me they shut the fans off and get everybody in there, and it's stuffy and all that. But we're from Clemson. And, y'all been around here in August. Y'all know that we have some hot, stuffy practices around here. And our indoor facility doesn't have air. And it can get a little stuffy in there, too. So we'll practice in there all week and crank it up, make it hot as we can. And, it should not be a factor.
Did you talk to anybody about playing in that place, or did you have somebody talk to them?
We got 5 or 6 guys on our staff that have been there.
Okay.
We got several guys: Brad Scott, Robbie Caldwell, Dan Brooks, Danny Pierman, Mike Reed. I got several guys that have been up there.
What's your evaluation on the O-line through 4 games, and particularly right tackle? How do you see that going this week? Well,
I mean, I think we've done a lot of good things. We're 4-0. We're still improving. We really haven't had the continuity. But it's been good from my perspective because we're developing a lot of guys and a lot of depth. Giff, has been out. He misses a game. It seems like every game we've had, something going on there. Beasley, but as a result of that, we've had to, Kalen has stepped up for us. We've got Shaq a lot of work. Mac's been in there, gotten a little taste of it. Battle's gotten some good work in these first 4 games. So it's been good to see different guys go in there and get some opportunity. And I think that is going to pay off for us. Because, again, it's a long year, and it's really hard to keep 5 guys every play, every game in there. And that was one of the things I thought affected us 2 years ago. We had a good first group, but, man, it was a big drop-off to our next group from, youth and all that stuff. And I don't see that now. We gotta do some things better. We gotta some missed assignments that we got to get corrected. I don't see any issues from a physical standpoint as far as the ability to be able to do what we need to do. But we've got to be on the same page a little bit better. And again, when you don't have the continuity, sometimes that's a little bit of an issue, communication. Well, I thought we were kicking it that way. No, we were kicking it this way. And everybody being on the same page. But I think that we're just going to continue to improve. I'm pleased with some things we've gotten done. Not happy with some of the protection issues that we've had. But they're not, it's nothing that we can't fix. It's nothing that I'm sitting here going, well, we just don't have an answer for that. I like the players we have. I like the competition that we have. Shaq Anthony is a sophomore who's inconsistent, but can do everything we need him to do, but he's got to take ownership of it. Obviously, Giff has won a ton of games for us, but we got to get Giff back to being Giff consistently. Battle is coming on. Battle is a guy that is if he'll just keep coming, he's on track to be what we think he can be. Joe Gore we're kind of starting over with Joe Gore. And Joe Gore's got a ton of talent, but he's had some setbacks with his injuries, with his knee, and we're kind of starting back with him. But he's one of those guys that you're going to look up, and before it's all said and done, he's going to be a good player for us. Kalen, cannot say enough good things about him. Beasley, just a tough guy. Shatley's playing great football. Ryan Norton has been awesome. That guy has been, to me, our MVP these first 4 games because you lost Dalton Freeman. And with what we do and the calls that have to be made and the communication, Ryan has done a fantastic job. He's played sick. He goes in there, gets an IV, he's puking, he comes back out and plays. And Jay Guillermo's a freshman, just going to get better and better. He's exactly what we hoped he would be, other than we just got to get him some experience. DeStefano was out last week. Now we're getting him back. DeStefano's going to be an outstanding offensive lineman for us. We just got a lot of good pieces, and so the competition is making us better. But we got to get that continuity, and we just hadn't been able to have that, and that's just been kind of because of some different issues. But we're 4-0. We've had 2 really hard-fought wins, and we're still a work in progress there. But I think we're much further along in the offensive line right now than we were last year. Same thing in the defensive line.
Coach, you talked about Teddy Bridgewater, Geno Smith. I don't know how much film you watched of those games. What have you learned, just how Syracuse pressures in those games against big-time offenses, and what do you take away from what they've done for these past 4 games, and what do you stress to avoid this week?
You got to take care of the ball. I mean, it's just that simple. If we're going to be, we will have a chance to win every week if we take care of the football. We're playing very good on defense right now. This is the most complete team that we've had as far as how our ability to win in different ways, our ability to complement each other, offense, defense, special teams. I mean, after 4 games, I really like where our football team is. There's only 7 teams in the country that are in the top 25 scoring offense, scoring defense. We're one of them. And I think, again, we haven't been there. We've been one or the other. But really putting that complete effort together is what I'm most excited about. But the biggest thing is for us, whether we're here or on the road, it's just our same plan to win. And again, we got to take care of the ball. We can't give up the busted big plays, and we've done a much better job of that. People have really had to work very hard to score on us. That's got to continue to be the case. We've got to create turnovers. We're doing a great job of that. We're one of the best in the country in that regard, and we got to take care of it. And we're doing a good job of that. And as long as we're doing those things, we got a chance to win. And it's about us and executing at a high level. Everybody playing with great continuity, great effort.